Okay, right up here, ma'am. Good afternoon. Before you have a seat, we're going to swear you in. Okay, please raise your right hand. Respond to the clerk.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Right. Thank you. Please have a seat. Just need you to scoot up close to that microphone, okay? Adjust it if necessary.
Okay. Sorry, I have my stuff here with me.
What is your name?
June Umchinda,
Please spell your name.
June. Last name Umchinda.
Where do you live, ma'am?
I live in Boca Raton, Florida.
Do you know Charlie Adelson?
Yes, I do.
How do you know Mr. Adelson?
He's my ex-boyfriend.
How long did you date Mr. Adelson?
We dated about 2 solid years, but we're kind of on and off for like 7 years. So,
Okay, when did you first meet him?
I met him in 2015, I believe.
And did you start dating in 2015?
Okay, I think I met him 2014 because I met him once when he was with someone else and he was living with their roommate that I was talking to back then. So we met once and then a year went by and then we reconnected, which I believe that was 2015.
All right, who was the roommate that you mentioned?
Jerry Obed.
Okay, that was somebody that was living with Charlie Adelson?
Yes.
Okay, and I think it's Dr. Obed, correct?
Right.
Was Dr. Obed living with Charlie Adelson when you started dating Charlie Adelson?
No, not anymore.
All right, so you started dating him in 15?
I believe so. I have to look back, but yes, I believe it was October 2015.
All right, and you said it was kind of on and off. Can you tell the jury, was it steady for a certain period of time and then on and off after that? Can you describe that?
Yes, so for the 2 years, it was definitely on. We were together like every day, basically lived there, but not legally. So, I saw my future with him. We were going to get married. It was a big thing. But after this and everything, obviously a lot happened and we ended up breaking up. And we just always kept in touch, but we weren't officially together. So that's why I say it's on and off because we've seen each other a few times after the 2 years.
Okay.
So.
But approximately in 2017 was sort of the official end, and then it was a little bit on and off after that?
Yes, officially 2017, I believe.
All right. During the time that you were steady dating Charlie Adelson, did you stay over at his place regularly?
I did almost every night. I think every night I did, yeah, when we were
Where
together.
was his place?
Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Whale Harbor?
Yes.
Is the name of the road?
Whale Harbor Lane.
And what did Mr. Adelson do for a living during the time you dated him?
He worked full-time as a periodontist.
Did you ever observe him engaging in any type of gang-related activity?
No.
Any type of gang members hanging around with him or interacting with him during the time you were in a relationship with him?
Not that I know of, no.
Did you ever see him engaging in any drug use or drug dealing?
Definitely not drug dealing. He likes like marijuana and that's probably it, and drinking. So.
All right. And during the time that you two were together, that 2 years, have you described yourselves as being inseparable? You and Mr.
Yes,
Adelson?
we were like best friends at one point. So.
As you sit here today, when was the last time you had contact with Mr. Adelson?
So it was actually, so he reached out to me the night before he got arrested the next day, but I did not reply until the next day and he was already gone. So
In the last year, and I'm speaking about from today back, how much contact have you had with him?
Well, this year I particularly tried to stay away from him. He wanted to see me a lot. He would reach out, but I just couldn't with this whole thing going on, and there's issues with another girl after me.
And
So,
when you say this whole thing going on, you're referring to this case that we're here about? Did you ever observe Charlie Adelson to have large amounts of cash?
I mean, I don't really know what large would be, but yes, I saw cash with him.
Thousands of dollars worth of cash?
Yes.
Where did he keep the cash?
He obviously kept cash in his wallet, and he kept cash in a safe as well.
A safe in his room?
Yes.
All right, and that was at the Whale Harbor residence?
Yes.
Okay, and was it a safe like the size of this speaker on our table, or like the kind that's like the size of a refrigerator?
A larger one.
And was there anything unusual about the way that Mr. Adelson packaged his money?
I never looked in the safe primarily, so I don't know how he kept the money or where it came from. I just know there was money in there.
All right, and that was thousands and thousands of dollars?
From the time that I saw there was. I don't know how much was in there.
All right, and were the thousands and thousands of dollars kept in stacks of hundreds?
The thousands that I saw were $100 bills.
$100 bills, and were they stapled together in stacks?
I believe so. I saw like a staple, but this was so long ago that.
Would it refresh your recollection to review your prior statement given on July?
No,
20?
I remember it. Like,
Okay.
I mean, there were staples on it. I just don't know. Like, I never saw the money in the safe, so I don't know.
Okay, but you saw money out of the safe being counted, right?
Right.
Okay, and that money was in stacks of $100 bills stapled together.
Yes.
What about Katherine Magbanua? Do you know her?
No, I don't.
Were you aware that Charlie Adelson dated Katherine Magbanua before he dated you?
I was only because of the media and this. They thought I was Catherine at one point, so.
Okay, but during the time that you dated Charlie Adelson, were you aware that he had a girlfriend previously named Katy?
No.
And what about after you? Do you know who he dated after you?
After me, he dated another girl named Bree.
All right, and what about Whitney? Do you know who that is?
I do. So when Charlie and I met, he was with Whitney, and that was before me.
Okay.
And then I met Whitney briefly, like one time.
And are you aware, after the media attention began in reference to this case, of Charlie Adelson beginning to have a lot of contact with Katherine Magbanua?
No.
Did you previously say that in your statement in July 24th of 2018?
Not that I recall. Did I say that they were speaking a lot, or?
That Charlie started talking to Katherine Magbanua a lot after the media attention started. Did you say that? Don't recall.
I might have said it, but now that I look back, I can't really like pinpoint when. I think I saw a text message of him talking about a car with her or something, but I never like heard him talking to her.
Okay, did you ever know of Katherine Magbanua working for Charlie Adelson as an employee?
No, I didn't know Charlie back then, so.
Okay, and during the time that you were with him, she was not working as his personal assistant to your knowledge, or working for him in any capacity to your knowledge?
Not that I know of.
Were you dating Charlie Adelson at the time when the first arrests were made in this case of Mr. Garcia and Mr. Rivera?
Yes.
All right. And did Mr. Adelson's behavior change when the arrests were made?
Yes, they did.
Can you explain how his behavior changed?
Well, this case kind of blew up in the media, so he was obviously, he went through a lot of stages. At one point, he was very depressed, and every day it was something different, but he just was never the same after this.
Did he become violent?
Not like really to me, but sometimes he would get angry sometimes.
Agitated?
I think so, yeah.
Short-fused?
I mean, yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Couldn't sleep?
Yes.
Did he keep clothes by his bed in case the police showed up in the middle of the night?
He did that once, I think, but it was so long ago that I don't know if it was for that reason.
Did you have any contact with Donna Adelson during this time frame?
No.
Do you remember being on the balcony of the Icon where Mrs. Adelson lives, having a conversation with her about this case?
Briefly.
All right. And what was her demeanor? Do you know what I mean by that? How was she acting?
Yeah, I
during
know
that
what
conversation?
demeanor means, but she was, everyone was obviously upset about this, and it's, you know, she wasn't happy, so.
She was stressed out, right?
Yeah, of course.
Did she have puffy eyes?
I don't remember.
Did she complain about not sleeping?
Possibly.
And did she make a statement to you about Dan Markel?
Yes, I believe so.
What was that statement?
Just that everything was awful, and it feels like, you know, like it's, I don't know. I'm sure you have it there. So.
Do you know what it is?
I kind of briefly remember, but,
Did she say that she feels like Dan's back from the grave, like haunting her?
I don't know, like, if they were those exact words. I think she was just so stressed out and upset that that's how it came out. So
During the time you dated Charlie Adelson, how many times did you visit his parents at the Icon?
Not more than 10 times.
And was this the last time you ever visited them at the Icon when she made this statement?
No.
So you saw her again after that?
Yes.
Was there any further conversation about the homicide at that time?
No.
Did Charlie Adelson have WhatsApp on his phone?
Yes.
Do you know if he communicated with Katherine Magbanua via WhatsApp?
I don't know.
After your breakup with Charlie Adelson, I guess I'm referring to the official breakup in 2017, did he give you any gifts?
After that?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't remember. Maybe like little gifts. Like
How
I don't
about
know.
a car? Did he give you a car
No.
after you broke up?
No.
Did he put you on the payroll at the Adelson Institute after you broke up?
No.
Do you recall him telling you that he gave Katherine Magbanua a car?
I do.
What was the deal with that?
I think he just said his father had the Lexus and it was an older Lexus, so he wanted to help someone out, and they didn't need the car, so yeah.
Okay. And what about trips, vacations? Did Mr. Adelson pay for you to go on any trips or vacations after your breakup with him?
After the breakup,
ma'am.
no.
All right, one moment, please, Your Honor.
Okay.
No further questions.
Cross-examination?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Ms. Umchinda.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing today?
Good, thank you.
You a little nervous?
No, I've been here since 8 a.m. waiting, so
No.
that's why
sure
I'm a
many
little
people in
tired.
here can understand what you're going
But-
through. So, I just want to go over some more details about what Ms. Katherine discussed with you about your relationship with Charles Adelson, okay?
Okay.
Now, when you first met Charles, he had a girlfriend at that time, right?
Yes,
And that girlfriend was Whitney.
correct.
You were actually on a date with his roommate, Jerome Obed, when you met him the first time.
Yes.
Okay, so it was like a double date situation.
Not intentionally. I was supposed to hang out with Jerry at his house because he was the roommate. So it was Charlie's house, but I was with Jerry at the moment.
At the moment. But
And
you
then
weren't
that's when I
with
met.
Charles.
No, he was with Whitney, and we didn't plan it like that. It just kind of happened. Yeah.
Okay, and that was around 2014 to 2015.
Yes.
Now, a few months after you met him, Charlie is the one that sought out your phone number, right?
Yes.
He tracked you down.
Correct.
A friend of yours was a patient of his, correct?
She wasn't officially a patient yet. She looked online and wanted to have work done that a periodontist would do, and it happened to be Charlie. And I didn't even know she was going there, but she told me, oh, I went to the dentist or the periodontist, and he mentioned, somehow I came up, and
And then after that, he was actively pursuing you, trying to take you on a date, right?
well, he asked her for my number, and then he had his office staff call.
Okay,
So
so he got
get
your
my
number
number.
from his office staff, and that's how he started calling you.
Through my best friend, Gia, correct.
Okay, and when he started to pursue you, he assured you he wasn't with Whitney anymore, right? You all day, right?
Right, we always went to work during the day and then
But-
after work.
At that time, you didn't have any kids.
No, I still don't have kids.
He didn't have any kids at that time.
No,
That's not the situation now, though, is it?
no.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. And so you didn't have any kids, he didn't have any kids, you guys had, apart from 9 to 5s, all the free time in the world to spend with each other.
Correct.
Now, you weren't technically living at his house, but you were sleeping there every single night.
Right.
And you were in love with him,
Yeah, you could say that.
right? You thought he was in love with you too, right?
At one point, yes.
You actually thought this was the man of your dreams.
Right.
He told you he loved you.
Of course, yes.
He told you you were the only one.
He said that, but I mean, over time, I got to know
Well,
him, so.
hindsight is 20/20, but at the time, you thought you were the only one.
Right.
Now, he's very convincing that way, isn't he?
Yes, I guess so.
He has no issues with communication. Is that fair to say?
Right.
He has no problem being the guy that reaches out.
No, he's very confident and, like, calm. He always knows what to say. He's very smart.
And is he very charismatic?
Yes.
And he talks a lot. Right?
Yes, he talks about everything.
And he dominates almost every conversation that he's in.
Right.
And at the time, he seemed like he really did care about you. That's how you felt.
Right.
He was a very attentive boyfriend. You never had to like look at your phone and be like, why isn't Charlie calling me today?
No, he was always like keeping in touch.
And if, for example, you weren't calling, he would be blowing up your phone, right?
Oh yeah, I'd call my roommate. Like if I took a nap once, he'd like come and find me. I don't know. He
Okay.
used to get worried about me. I don't know why, but
Now, even after you broke up, it's not like when you broke up you stopped communicating with him, right?
right.
He's-
For a while we did after the whole thing.
Now, let's talk about, well, we'll tell this jury why it is you broke up, okay? Now, you guys took a break, right?
Yes.
What year was that?
I want to say it was the end of December, like 2017
17,
or 18
okay.
or something.
So, you break up, you guys are apart for a few months, right?
Only 2 months. Like,
Only 2 months.
supposedly.
Then he gets back together with you, right?
Right. I
Then
got back with him.
you got back with him. Then you find out that in that 2-month time span, he ended up getting Wendy's boyfriend's nanny pregnant.
Yes.
And this was just in that 2-month period that you were apart.
Right.
Did you try to stay with him, or?
Not really. Like, maybe I gave it a thought, but I don't think I could have ever done that. Like, after what he did, and then obviously this was going on too, so there's just a lot of baggage.
And this is who you had mentioned before. That's Bree, right? Is the mother of his child.
Right.
Okay. And he had this child in 2018?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, one of the other reasons that the reason you broke up with him actually is that you found out he was cheating with you from a girl from the Philippines, right?
That's not the reason we broke up, but
You did find out he was cheating on you with a girl from the Philippines.
yeah, he never admitted it till this day, but I suspected it, and I've seen the messages, so.
You found something in his
obviously.
phone with a girl that lives in the Philippines, right?
Right, yeah.
Does Charles like to go to the Philippines?
Not lately, but like, sorry, but obviously, back then for a little bit, he did like to go travel.
Does he? You know him also to travel to Vietnam?
He did one trip that I knew, but I don't know anything else.
Would you say that Charlie Adelson has a particular taste in a certain type of girl?
Yeah, he told me, like, I mean, I think he likes Asian women, he
His
said,
preference
so
is Asian
I don't
women,
know, yeah.
right? You see somewhat of a resemblance between yourself and Miss Magbanua, right?
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, people mistake me for her sometimes.
In fact, a month ago, you were on TV when Charles was arrested, and NBC said you were Katherine Magbanua, right?
I heard of that. I didn't see it, but people were telling me that my picture was up, mistaking me for Katherine, so.
All right. Now, you know now that throughout the course of your relationship, he was actually still in regular communication with Katherine.
I do, because I just saw the recording of all that. That was when I was still with him.
But you didn't know back then.
No.
He was able to keep that from you, right?
Correct.
Even though you were with him every day and every night.
Right, and he would tell me something, but that was around the time he was acting weird, so.
And he's the type of guy, like, if you catch him, like, in I want to say a lie, he has a very good way of trying to talk his way out of it, right?
Yes.
Now, he was able to do all type of things without you suspecting anything, right?
Not exactly, I would suspect, but he was good at,
Hiding things.
yeah, being Charlie, I guess you could say.
So, when you started dating him, you had no idea who Katherine Magbanua was?
No.
And you guys, you said, became serious in October of 2015, 1 year after Dan Markel was murdered.
Yes.
Yes. That, you spent that Christmas with his family, right?
It was Hanukkah, but yeah, I think it was that Hanukkah that
That Hanukkah, because they're Jewish, right? And Donna was there, right?
Right.
Harvey was there, right?
Right.
Wendy was there.
Right.
That's when you met Wendy's boyfriend.
Yes, David.
David.
At
and
the
it's
time.
David's nanny who is the mother of Charles Adelson's child.
Yes.
Now, you asked Charlie what happened to Wendy's ex-husband, right?
I did, yes.
And he told you, his girlfriend, someone shot him in his garage.
Right.
And when you tried to ask him more questions, he was very short with you.
He just said he didn't know who did it, and, I didn't want to press more, so that was it.
But you read off of him, he didn't want to talk about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was just like a moment of silence, so I didn't want to go deeper with something like that. So.
And all he would really say to you is, he just died. He didn't go into any details about anything.
Right.
Now, you were dating him around April, May of 2016, right?
Right.
That is when someone approached his mother on the street, right?
Yes.
And you had said that for 2 weeks he was acting very strange.
He was acting strange all the time ever since this, so yeah.
And around that time, you had said too that he was more consumed with his family than usual.
Possibly, yes.
All right. Now, you trusted what Charlie would be telling you, right?
I did.
Okay. And even though you tried to ask him as a concerned girlfriend, like, what's going on? Why are you behaving like this? He wouldn't tell you what's going on, right?
No.
He never told you that some person walked up to his mother and was handing him a paper about his brother-in-law's murder and demanding money.
No, and the night I guess he met with Catherine, he lied to me about where he was that night, so and then I found out later I guess he didn't want to tell me he was with Catherine, like an ex-girlfriend.
So he had no problem being with you and then keeping all these things behind your back, right?
Right.
You only found out now that he was lying to you the entire time.
With that lie, yeah.
That lie amongst others.
Well, I mean, he did tell me like after the fact when it came out, but then I realized I put two and two together that it was the same night that he was acting suspicious. So.
Okay. Now, you were actually dating Charles before everything blew out in the media, right?
Correct.
Charlie actually told you about Dan Markel being murdered before everything came out in the media.
Yes.
Okay. And that's all he told you is Wendy's ex-husband was murdered.
Correct.
He was in a garage and that he didn't know who did it.
Right.
And you found out that Charlie was actually a suspect in this homicide when someone from ABC walked up to you in front of Charlie's house, right?
Yes.
They thought you were Catherine.
Yes.
And tried to interview you.
Yes.
You're not Catherine.
No. I didn't even know her name at the time. I was like, who's Catherine?
And literally, like, walking up on his driveway, people with microphones were coming up to you to try and interview you, right?
Right, and that's how I found out about this. So.
Okay. From a reporter coming to you.
Yes.
Now, I'm sure once you heard about that, natural tendency is to start looking up everything online, right?
Well, it wasn't online back then as of yet.
But at some point, you were able just to type in his name and a 24-page affidavit would pop up detailing his alleged involvement in this, right?
Right.
And this is when he was still free, right? Yes?
Yes.
And you just mentioned that the last time you spoke to Charles Adelson was the night before he was arrested, right?
I'd have to look. I know he wrote me. I don't know if I responded that night, but I usually didn't text him back right away recently because I just wanted to wait, like stay away from him for a little bit.
That wasn't in 2016,
So.
right?
No, this was the night before he was arrested.
A month ago,
Right.
right? April 20th of 2022.
Yes.
Okay. So all the time that he's free and he has all of this stuff online and all this stuff saying that he was suspected, he was never arrested until a
Right.
month ago, right?
Yes.
And I'm sure you as his girlfriend, when all this stuff was out in the media saying that he's involved and in this homicide, you must have asked him, what is all of this?
Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of shocked that he didn't mention it or tell me what was going on because I had no idea about anything. So.
Before then, he never said to you, oh my God, these people think I had something to do with my sister's ex-husband's murder. He never
Right.
said anything like that to you, right?
No, he would just rush away to his friend's house or try to go somewhere and not tell me where. So I just thought it was something else.
That he tried to keep you from knowing anything.
Right.
Now, he also told you at one point not to answer the door if the cops showed up, right?
Well, he went out of town and he said if I was at the house and the cops show up, just don't answer it or. But I didn't know anything. I'm like, why would the cops show up?
Now, Katherine was arrested on October 1st of 2016. You guys are still dating then, right?
Yes.
And when she was arrested, he was shocked and surprised that she had been arrested, right?
Yes.
Those were the words you used, right?
Right.
And those were the words you used when you were describing that to Agent Sanford back in 2018.
Right.
When she was arrested, he started now acting more strange. Put a strain on your relationship, right?
Right, of course.
All right. Now, in August, before that arrest, okay, there was an episode on 2020, right?
Right.
You watched it with him?
Not like the premiere, but eventually we ended up watching it because everyone was talking about it. So.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Okay. And isn't it true that when Agent Sanford came to interview you in 2018, he told you that they put that show out?
They did. I don't know if I remember that, but
If it's reflected in your recorded statement, that would be a fair representation of what Agent Sanford told you, right?
that they put 2020 on.
That
or-
we put that show out.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure. I don't really remember right
No.
now, but
You watched the show with Charlie,
right.
and you'd never give you any explanation about any of it, right?
No, well, at that time it was out, so I kind of knew what was going on by that time.
Isn't it true he actually told you they have it completely wrong?
Yes.
He said that Katy worked for him, right?
He did say, like, I think she did work for him, like, did some work for him.
He also mentioned that she paid for her own breast augmentation, right?
He said she paid for, like, one of them or something.
So if she's only had one, then she paid for it.
Like, I guess he helped her with the other, I don't know.
Helped her find the doctor?
No, like, half of it.
So now your testimony is that he told you he paid for half of her breast augmentation?
No, I don't think he ever told me that he paid for it at all. But he said something about they accused him of paying for it, and he said he may have helped like half, like, and paid for one. I don't really know.
Are you
why he
saying
said
one
that.
breast?
Yeah, I don't. This is not my words. That's
Okay.
what Charlie said.
All right.
so.
And are you not sure if what you're telling me now has been improperly influenced by all the stuff you've read on the media about this case?
Wait, what was it? Sorry.
I'm saying, are you able to separate what it is that you know or from what you read in the media about this case before you were interviewed?
I tried to, yeah.
All right. Now, the first time that the detectives came to speak to you was in the middle of 2018, right?
Right.
They knew you had broken up with Charles and you guys weren't on good terms, right?
Oh, that time. I think they knew. Like, yeah, they knew after I told them. So.
Now, when they tried to come and speak with you, they didn't just bang on your door, not announce themselves, leave, and never come back, right?
No, I think for a few days they tried to get in touch with me.
No, they waited in your lobby for you, right, of where you lived?
Well, I parked my car and they like waited for me to get out of my car to walk to my lobby and to my place that I lived at the time. Yeah.
They had previously called, identified themselves, and left messages for you saying they wanted to speak to you, right?
Right.
Okay. And when they finally approached you in the lobby, they identified themselves as law enforcement.
Yeah, I think Patrick did or one of them, but I think
The
it was
FBI
his
agent.
name.
Yeah?
But I wasn't sure if the woman was Shelley.
But you were sure that you were speaking to law enforcement.
Yes, at that time.
And they were nice to you.
They were really nice, yeah.
And they said they wanted to talk to you, right?
Yes,
And they never told you that they were recording you. Isn't that true?
yes,
They actually promised you that what you told them would be kept secret and that no one would find out.
Yes.
That's not true, is it?
No, obviously not.
Your recorded interview is out in the media, right?
Yeah, everything I've done, like, they put out, and I haven't really
There's a
authorized
camera on you
it.
right now, right?
Yeah.
You're still talking about this. So that wasn't true when they said they'd keep it secret, right?
Right.
And they gave you every opportunity to answer the questions that they posed to you about Charles, right?
Yes.
They never accused you of lying.
No, I was obviously, like, upset at that time, so I was willing to share what Charlie did to me and open up to them. I was vulnerable, so.
But you did answer all their questions, though, right?
I did, yeah.
And when you told them you knew nothing about a homicide, they believed you.
They didn't tell me if they believed me, but I just told them what I knew, so.
You haven't been arrested, though, have you, for being his girlfriend?
No.
And even though you were his girlfriend at the time and you were living with him, every single day, you had no idea that he had been suspected as being involved in the murder of Wendy's ex-husband.
No, definitely not. Not at all.
Your Honor, may I have a moment, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Is there any water?
Sure, do we have a water thing that I heard? There's some in the jury room if we need to. We'll get you water in just a moment.
Thank you.
All right, redirect.
No, Your Honor.
Oh,
Okay, well,
I
you're
think
done.
we're finished.
Okay. We can release it.